Hi everyone, it's Signe from Sign of Horses, and I just take some lovely moments with Signe, and they were so good that I decided that I needed to make a vlog out of it. At least I think they're good, I still have to watch them back. And we had a brilliant time, so I missed the ferry, and luckily I did bring some food for myself, so I'm now heating up my food in my lovely car. So that is the noise that you hear in the background going on, as well as the flapping of my tent, which I quickly put up because it's very, very windy and it's hard to cook on one of these gas stoves when it's this windy. Anyway, here is the footage that I took with Signe, and I'll explain why it felt so amazingly wonderful with him. This video might seem very boring to people who are not horse lovers and not horse fans. So if you're not a horsey kind of person, then I don't know what you should do with this video. Maybe you should watch it to the end and see what it does for you. In a way. And for the horsey people, this is going to be extremely interesting. Here's Signe and me playing around in the field. He showed so much interest in this rug that I just took with me into the field to see what he was thinking about it. And you can see that he's very interested in it. He loves following it around, I suppose. And it blows up with the wind. It kind of startles him, but it also releases something in him. It releases his inner Viking or something. I don't know how to call it, but look at that movement that he's showing. He's kind of scared and interested at the same time. Very, very curious. I don't know what it is about this day, but we both had a very I guess special mindset that day. Being able to explore and enjoy each other's company in freedom. As you can see, he's not wearing a halter or anything. I put him in a big field adjacent to the field where his herd is grazing. And he's aware of the flapping, but he's not scared. In fact, I even think it interests him. And a little circle you see lying on the ground in front of me there, not doing anything with that. Well, that's my shield. I decided to take that with me as well. I sometimes have objects in my car, and I take them to Signe with me and explore. And look at that movement. I love to see him move like that. Wow. And the movement turns into play, and the play turns into grazing. We kind of disconnected there. Well, that's okay. It's okay to not always connect. And ask him, or I invite him to come and play again, which he does, but he gets distracted and he's off to the other side of the field. He's just going up there to check things out, I suppose. I decide to join him and see if he'll reconnect with me. And in fact he does. He comes galloping towards me and then starts to gallop on the other side of the ditch. He doesn't like crossing ditches too much. But there he goes. And that's, for me, this is such a magical moment. For him to come back to me across that huge, huge field. I'll try to zoom in for you. That might make this footage a bit wonky or a bit pixely. But I hope it doesn't disturb you too much. So we walk back to where we began. I love how he puts his snout to the ground when he walks like that. I let him investigate the rug. He just sniffs. And then he sniffs the shield, so I reward him for that. Just give him a treat. Just tell him, I like it when you investigate things. And maybe we can investigate it together. Now, this doesn't look like very important Viking horse training, but in fact, this is the very, very beginning of all the fancy battle pony stuff that you see Bliss doing. This is the very, very beginning to a horse that is not afraid of unknown objects or different looking and smelling objects, because my shield smells of campfires and of steel and of leather. And then when he shows no more interest in things and he finds a spot to graze, I just scratch him and enjoy the moment of that as well. So after a little rest and a graze and a scratch and a brush, I decided to go for a walk. As if we hadn't already done enough that day, but both Brissinger and I were in such a beautiful mindset. Just going up that little dike in the background and grazing, enjoying each other's company. And when we came back, I still wasn't done. He showed so much interest in that rug that I decided to see if I could put it on him a couple of times. I let him chew on it. Young horses explore with their mouths a lot. I put it on over his head. And he's slightly worried about that, but as soon as it's on, he's okay. He's licking and chewing here, and that's a sign that he's trying to calm himself down, or maybe try to calm me down because I'm feeling a little bit anxious maybe about his reaction of putting the rug over his head. And that's why I have the halter on, that if he does have a big start, that he's not galloping across the field with the rug flapping around his body, but I can very quickly keep him near to me and take the rug off. That's the idea. It didn't happen, so he's still very interested in the rug, but he's also showing some calming signals, like putting his head down to the ground to graze. And then as soon as his interest is back, I try to put it over his head again. And it's just that moment when it's over his eyes that he's kind of like, what's happening? But as soon as it's over his body, he's like, okay, this is okay. I can live with this. I can be a horse with a rug on. This is very, very hard training. And when it's over, I take off his halter and I just let him be. The halter is there for safety, for his safety and my safety. But I so love these moments of utter freedom. It's incredible to have your horse following you, or the rug, doesn't really matter, but your horse to be with you. And this is a 2-year-old young stallion with so many different priorities in life than sticking with a human. And it feels so great that I get to be a more and more important role in his life, in his young life. Now he stops to graze again, and I start opening the gates so I can let him through. I didn't want to zoom in too much on this footage, making it all so pixelated, but I hope you can see that he walks in freely and without pushing or pulling or tugging on him, without fear of fences, and he knows where he's going. So when he's back in his field, for me, that's it. That's my day with Brissinger done. And I pick up all the stuff, I pick up the shield, and I pick up the blanket, and I start walking back to the car. And I'm so glad that I caught this bit on film. Because what I don't notice here, it takes me a while to notice, is that Brissinger's still at the gate. He hasn't returned to his herd of young stallions, his friends, to tell him about his adventures with his human. He just stands there, looking at me, leaving, as if he's not ready for me to leave. And this is where I notice. I wanted to turn around and just have one more look at him. And that's why I noticed that he's still at the fence. It kind of surprised me. And then he whinnies at me. And my heart completely melted. There goes my hand to my chest because I was so touched by that gift of horse. Yeah.